My name's Stephen, and I'm a member of the Bangor Parish Church. This is a little bit of story about my life. I became a Christian just under 2 years ago. A very destructive life I led, becoming an alcoholic at the age 30. I'd been in the Navy for 12 years. I'd got married, I had 4 children, and completely destroyed their lives through alcohol. My eldest son, who's 26, committed suicide. And as you can imagine, my whole world was completely destroyed. But probably the saddest thing in the world, it was more my guilt and my worrying about my guilt that was in my head and not my son, which is a terrible thing to own up to, but that's just the way life was. My father was dying from Alzheimer's at the time. He died about 4 months after my son, and I went into a complete meltdown. I sat in the chair, wouldn't go out, wouldn't talk. And God love my wife. She had the patience of a saint, but didn't know how to help me. She ended up going to church. For whatever reason, I asked her, would she ask her minister to come and speak to me? And Nigel Parker, he's called, and he came out with another fella, Andrew Frame. And they sat and talked to me. And Sally had given them a list of things not to ask Stephen. And one of them was, don't ask him to come to an Alpha course. So Nigel promptly asked that as one of the first questions, will you come to an Alpha course? And I said yes. To this day, I don't know why I said yes, but I didn't go to church. They'd asked me, but I didn't feel I was ready. It was the away day at Seago Parish that I decided I was going to be a Christian, and my life has been completely turned upside down from that day. One of the biggest things that's happened to me since I become a Christian is that I have been released of the guilt that I suffered for not just of Lee's death, but for my whole life. God's grace has just been absolutely amazing. One of my tattoos on my arm is of a devil that I'd done when I was a drunken teenager. And a couple of weeks before I was going to get confirmed, I went to the minister and said, I can't do this, is doing my head in, this tattoo. And I got defeated, put underneath the tattoo of the devil, and using the T for a cross. And it seemed to take all the resistance out of my body. Before coming to the church, I did believe in God. When I became a recovering alcoholic, when I was 30, I went to Alcoholics Anonymous, and one of their things is to say, sober, you have to find a higher power. So I accepted there was a higher power, and he was called God. But to be perfectly honest, that was really as far as it got. But I didn't know who he was. I didn't know he was a God who could change everything in my life. I wasn't prepared to give up who Stephen was. It wasn't until I was completely broken that God replaced Stephen and changed my life completely.